Hey guys, it's Kaz here, and today I'm going to be talking about all the things I watched in February. It's a bit later than usual, but I haven't filmed a video in a week, so deal with it. So first of all, I finished off season 1 of Dark. I definitely remember talking about this in January wrap-up, and I did kind of slightly mention it in my small book vlogject because I watched the last episode on there. But yeah, I haven't carried on with season 2 yet, but I very much definitely need to because that ending. Dark is a German TV show and it's all about time travel, and it's set in the past and the present, and then it's all mixed together and stuff happens. It's really good, it's really interesting. The casting, next level. The characters literally look like themselves in the past, in the present. It just is brilliant, and I really need to carry it on. Next, I watched a short program called The Five. This was a small amount of episodes, like a contained story. So basically, in the past, a young boy's gone missing, and then his brother and his brother's friends were the last people to see him. And then it's in the present time. One of them is a police officer, and murders are happening, and they keep finding the DNA of this lost brother at the murder. So they're like, what's going on? Is he the murderer? Is he something to do with this? Is he alive? Is he dead? Is it planting evidence? Is it... And it goes from there. It's actually really interesting. I feel like it kind of went like this and then dipped a little bit at the end. I don't know why. It was all really good. I really enjoyed it, but I just felt like it wasn't like at the end. But it was a decent ending. It wasn't like a terrible ending. That's not why I'm saying that. But yeah, it's really interesting. The storyline with the missing girls and the murders and stuff is really interesting. And then also obviously this whole mystery about what happened, the secrets. Everybody's got secrets from the past, and it does a really good job of making everyone look a little bit suspicious, but also not suspicious. And then, is it this, is it that? And yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent programme. So if you want to watch something that's, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 episodes, can't remember, but it's a small one, then The Five exists. After that, I watched Finding Ohana. This is a movie. It's basically like a modern Goonies. So this girl and her brother go over to Hawaii to see their granddad with their mum, and then it's like this big adventure. They're trying to find this lost treasure. Very much Goonies-esque, but in a Hawaiian setting. It's fun. There were a few times that I genuinely laughed out loud, and it was really funny. And yeah, the whole vibe is enjoyable if you're young, if you're old, if you just want something really easy to watch, if you do enjoy those sort of adventure movies where people are looking for treasure. And then, oh, also, I just remembered, you know, the whole Goonies thing. Data from the Goonies is actually in this film. And when I was watching it, I looked at him, I was like, I swear down, that's Data from the Goonies. And then he started talking, I was like, that is definitely Data. And it's really cool because his character has a little, you know, the fake mouth that he uses in Goonies to grab onto something. He has one of them on his key rings, and it's just such a really cool little nod to the Goonies. They're like, yeah, we know this is like the Goonies. This is how much we know. Here's a literal guy that was in the Goonies, and here we're doing a little nod to it. So yeah, it's a fun family film. It's enjoyable. It was on Netflix, and I liked it. So here's the thing. Lucy over at Books and Brushes, if you're watching this, if you haven't watched Shelter yet, watch it right now after this, otherwise I will fight you. I've got your address. I will come to your house wearing a mask and I will beat your ass. So I told Lucy over at Books and Brushes that she should really watch Shelter and Newcastle, Australia, because she was talking about surfing. I was like, hey, here are 2 films that have surfing in them, watch them. And I found the link on YouTube for Shelter, the full video, and then I just watched it even though I've got it on DVD. I just couldn't not. I fucking love Shelter. It's literally my favourite film ever. I've watched this film 3 times in the same day before. I can probably speak it word for word. I love it so much. It's just so wholesome and lovely and cute and amazing and brilliant, and I love it. And I'll leave the link down below. I'll find that YouTube link, and after this video, watch Shelter. That's not just to Lucy, that's to everyone watching this. Watch Shelter. It's right there. Hopefully, if it hasn't been deleted. It's right there. Watch it. Shelter is about this guy Zach, and He's from a bit of a poor family. He lives with his sister and her son, and they look after their dad. And he's in a dead-end job. His best friend's going over to college. And he's just, you know, stuck in a rut. He looks after Cody, his sister's son, more than she does. She's a bit of a shit mother, so he has to be the parental figure there. And then his best friend Gabe's brother, Sean, comes back to live in their house for a bit. And then it's just really cute. Love blossoms. I love this film so much. It's so wholesome and so cute and so sweet. And the found family aspect and how lovely Zach is to Cody. There's literally a scene in it where Cody calls him his dad and he's like, oh no, I'm not your dad. I'm your sister's brother, that makes me your uncle. And he's like, no, you're my dad. And it's just really, really cute and wholesome, and I love it. And there's a happy ending, and the surfing shots are amazing. The soundtrack is amazing. Love the Shane Mack songs. It's just everything. He's also an artist, a street artist. I love art. It's got everything I like all in one wrapped up thing, and it's just really good. And you should watch it. And it's wholesome, and the link is right there. And the next day after that, I felt like I wanted to rewatch it. That's how much I love it, but I said no, stop it. But I definitely just could rewatch it all the time because I love it. After that, I watched a film called Summer of '89 on Amazon Prime. I'd never heard of this. I think I saw a thumbnail on YouTube, and I thought it was Isaac and Evan from Scam, and I clicked on it. I was like, that's not them. But then it got me intrigued, like, what is this? And it was the Summer of '85. So first of all, if you like Isaac and Evan, then watch it because it gave me them vibes. But anyway, yes, it is a story obviously set in the summer of '85. Imagine that. And it's basically about these two boys and becoming friends and then becoming more. It does have a very bittersweet, sad but happy ending. I'm going to tell you right now, there is death. It's literally based on a book called Dancing on His Grave. So it is sad, but I feel like it was just a really, really good story, and you should watch it. I'd never even heard of it. I never even knew that this film existed. I didn't even know it was a book until I saw someone comment on the bottom of the video, and then I tried looking for the book and it's just really hard to get hold of, so I didn't get it. But yeah, it's just really good. This one boy, he's out sailing and then his boat tips over and then the other one saves him, and then that's the sort of start of their friendship into a relationship. And then it takes place before all of that, like right at the beginning of the film. This is why it's not really a spoiler to say that one of them died, because literally right at the beginning of the film, the one guy is talking and he said, oh, this is about a boy that died, and if you don't want to watch that, it literally says in the film, if you don't want to watch a film about a boy dying, then probably don't, because this is what it's about. And it's like him telling the police what happened about certain things, and then it's in the past and then it's in the present, and then it's just really, really good. I definitely give it a watch. If you have Prime, I don't know if it's on other stuff, watch it, because it's genuinely a really good film. It's probably one of the better films that, like LGBT films that I've seen of recent times, that have come out recently, and I'd never even heard of it, so that's cool. Basically, thank you to me standing Scam and clicking on that video because I thought it was Isaac and Evan. I also rewatched Being 17. Here's the thing, I don't know why, but for some reason I got it in my head. I remembered this film set in a snowy place. They're always walking on the snow in the mountains. They're at school. There was two boys and there was like enemies to friends to lovers. And in my head I was like, what is that film? I know I've seen it. I had to Google the synopsis because it was just in my head and I feel like I needed to rewatch it. Turns out the film's called Being 17. It's French. So I rewatched it. I've pretty much told you the synopsis. It's about these two boys, and at first they very much dislike each other. They have fights and stuff. And then one of the boys comes to stay with the other one because his mother's ill and he lives closer to the school and stuff. And then it becomes friendly, becomes more. But yeah, I rewatched that because for some reason I remembered the snowy mountains and I really needed to watch it again. We're about halfway through, so I'm gonna shut up. You get to go and watch the sponsors for a bit and then come back and then listen to me chat more shit. Oh hey, bunny. I also watched Tiny Pretty Things. This is a Netflix show about ballet. I enjoy watching dancing. It's also a bit of a thriller. Right at the beginning, a girl, sort of the star of the ballet school, gets pushed off a building, and then another girl gets sort of brought in to replace her, and there's all this mystery, like who pushed the girl, what's happening, was it her boyfriend, was it somebody else, was it somebody that's jealous of her? And then surrounding all that mystery, there's obviously all the normal school politics as well. Like the girl that gets brought in is a black girl, and then the whole school is obviously very much white and very much elite, and she's like a black girl that's from a poorer neighbourhood, so there's all that sort of feeling as well, the bitchiness, the we're better than you-ness, all that. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I ate it up pretty much, watched it all in 2 days. What is it, like 10 episodes or something? It's interesting, it's a fun romp. What I will say though is, my god, does this have a lot of sex in it. It's a bit excessive. I'm not a prude, but there's like 3 sex scenes in every single episode, and they're all very, what's the word I'm looking for? Explicit. Obviously not, you don't see actual stuff happening, but I'm like, bro, there's literally a storyline in here about minors and sex, and I'm like, if these characters are all minors and having sex with that minor is wrong, why are you showing us 3 explicit, like full nude sex scenes every single episode? Like, calm down. What are you trying to push here? So yeah, I thought that was really random, especially because one of the rules right at the beginning is like, you're not allowed to have sex with each other or you'll get kicked out. It's like, every single one of these characters should not be in that school then, if that's a fact. But yeah, it was really interesting. I feel like some of the dancing did get a bit repetitive, especially because towards like the second half of the season, they're all, what is the word I'm looking for? Why can't I think of words? Practicing. They're all practicing to be in this musical, so it's like the same dance over and over again. It was alright though. I enjoy dancing, yeah, some of it was a bit repetitive, but it was an interesting topic, and I thought the ending and the reveal was very interesting. It was a bit of a different thing. The way it all panned out I thought was quite interesting, how they did it. Definitely open for another season, so there's a lot of interesting things in there. And the ending is very much a bombshell, so it feels like it's probably going to happen. I've also been watching the new season of RuPaul's Drag Race, of course. Keeping up to date with that. It's on Netflix the day after it's aired in America. I always forget that the UK one exists because it's on BBC and I don't have a TV license, so I don't watch BBC's, but maybe, you know, I'll have to find it on a VPN somewhere else in a different country and then watch it, because apparently the UK one is airing at the same time and I didn't even know. So maybe I'll have to watch that. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's alright. I have watched a few videos criticising it about how long it is. I didn't even really realise the length of it, but it does feel a little bit drawn out. But I don't mind because I just really enjoy watching Drag Race and I think it's just a fun time. It's just something to enjoy, so I don't mind that it's quite drawn out. I read somewhere that like the amount of episodes in we are at the moment and still have nearly a whole cast. Like Bob the Drag Queen was being crowned the queen at that many episodes, so it is rather drawn out. But like I say, I don't mind. Give me the content. I want it. I'll have the content. Also Netflix, please give us Untucked, because why doesn't it? But anyway, content. After that I watched Deep Water, which is an Australian cop show. Basically in a place in Australia, I can't even remember where it's set. But these gay guys keep ending up dead, and they find out that it's linked with past, like 20 years ago it was happening and it's still happening. And is it the same people? And there's loads of homophobic stuff there, and like in the past, did they connect all these different going missings and being murdered or being found committing suicide or whatever? And yeah, it was an interesting ride. Again, it was quite a short one. I think it was maybe 3-4 episodes. It was a rather small one. I did find it funny though. I was watching it, I was like, why do I recognise that woman? And it is the woman that plays Lorna in Orange is the New Black, but obviously using a proper Australian accent. So it really, I had to Google it because it really took me. I was like, why do I recognise her? But also I can't place her. So yeah, that was fun. I do like Lorna though. I haven't finished Orange is the New Black, but that's beside the point. Yes, I watched that. I also watched White House Farm, which when I turned it on I didn't realise was actually based on a true event, but it does tell you right at the beginning, like, this is based on a thing that happened. And it's basically all these people that got murdered in a house, and the woman was blamed. They said it was a murder-suicide. They said the house was locked up, there's no way anybody could have got in there that was not her. It was definitely her. But then there's this one detective, I don't know how true that bit is, because a lot of the times they like shift it a little bit in real life, but there was a one detective that was like, this seems fishy, and then he was looking into it, and was it really a murder-suicide? Is it being made to look like that? Is it because she's had mental health issues, so that someone's been like, oh, we can pin it on her and make it look like it's her? And then there's all this dodginess about her brother and the family and money and estates and who's gonna get what. So yeah, it was interesting. I've not read up on the actual case, so like I said, I don't know how much of it is real and how much has been stylized for this TV show, but I enjoyed it. I've also been watching a lot of Criminal Minds. Here's the thing, I've seen the first maybe third of all of Criminal Minds like 3 times, but I've never watched all of the end of it, because whenever it was on a platform, I would start it from the beginning, and then I'll get so many seasons in, and then it would get cut from that platform, like Netflix, Prime, whatever. So hopefully I'll actually get past further than I've got in the past, because there's like 14 seasons or something like that, and I've only ever got past a few of the first ones. I have been skipping episodes that I remember very, very vividly, so I'll start and I'm like, yeah, I know exactly all of the storyline, skip to the end, just so I can get a bit, you know, hopefully carry it on a bit further than I have in the past. At the moment I'm a couple of seasons in, I think, and yeah, it's just something that I've been having on, watching, enjoying. I like Criminal Minds, so it will probably be interesting when I get past all the ones that I have seen, because even the ones that I've been watching, I probably have a little bit of memory, like, oh yeah, I remember a little bit about this, but not the whole thing. So it'll be interesting when we get past that and see the storyline and the arcs of all the characters that we know. So yeah, Criminal Minds, great time. And then last but not least, I watched Framing Britney Spears. This is something that was going around the internet, it was a big thing. So I thought, you know what, I'll watch that, it's interesting. I like documentaries about stuff. I've heard of this conservative ship a few years ago. I read into it and I was like, that sounds dodgy as hell. So I watched Framing Britney Spears, and it was definitely very interesting. Hopefully the fact that it's been brought to light and the media exists and people are campaigning against it, hopefully, you know, it'll be looked into a little bit more. If you don't know, it's basically her dad has had control over her life, her money, her everything for many, 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 many years. And it's a bit crazy because she's literally been doing like $1 million performances in Las Vegas for like a full year, but apparently she doesn't have enough autonomy to be able to handle her own money or finances or kids or house or life or decisions or employing a lawyer, but she can play Las Vegas every night to like thousands of people. So, you know, it's one of them. And it looks like towards the end, it looks like she's stopped doing stuff, basically saying like, bro, I'm not gonna do anything else until you take my dad off this. So yeah, it was an interesting watch. And that is the end of all the things that I watched in February-ish. I did watch a few random things like 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown or The Last Leg, you know, bits and pieces here and there. But let me know down below what you watched in February, if you've seen any of the things, if they sound interesting now I've told you about the things. Watch Shelter, it'll be linked down in the description. It's literally 80 minutes long, it's not even a long film. Watch it and then love it and then come back and tell me how much you love it. And if this is your first video by me and you enjoy it, then please check out some of my others. And if you continue to enjoy, then please subscribe, that'd be awesome. Anyway guys, I'll see you in a few days with another video. Bye.